you have ever gotten into that little trap on Pinterest where you have been intrigued to know what your design style is. You click on the link, you fill out all of the questions, even looking at the pretty pictures, come to realize that the design style that it spit out for you at the end was a label that you didn't quite understand. How many of you are raising your hand? Is that you? Yeah, I see you back there. I have a love-hate relationship with those design quizzes, and here's why. They give you some really fun information. They give you the this or that type of question, and they even spit out a label that maybe we have a teeny tiny bit of comprehension about. But if we were to be asked what that means, if we were to be asked, hey, break that down for us. What does it mean to have that specific design style, no matter what that design style is? You might not be able to recall it. You might not be able to say and pick out all of the teeny tiny little details that comprise that design style. And then we're left scratching our heads, still confused, and still spending hours in the paint aisle, in the pillow aisle, in the home goods aisle, because we still don't know what in the heck it's talking about. Did I just hit a chord? Yeah, friend. Here's the thing with those design quizzes. They don't tell you anything. And the thing that they do tell you is someone's perception of what a design style is. But if you don't know what that means, if you don't have the specific terms of what makes that style, you're still going to be lost in the dark, making decisions that feel frustrating, overwhelming, way too confusing, and time intensive. And then when that happens, you make mistakes. And I don't want that for you. And I bet you don't want that for you. You want decorating to be easy, and you look aside at Susan's house down the street and you think, how is it that she makes all of these decisions and she makes her home look so effortless and she makes it look easy? All right, well, now's your turn. I have good news for you. March 11th and 12th, I'm hosting a 2-day workshop called 3 Steps to Creating a Home That You Can't Stop Gushing About, where we're going to, guess what? We're going to unlock your design style. Not my design style, not Susan's design style, not Rebecca's down the street, not Rhonda's across town. We are unlocking yours. You're going to walk away with tactical, specific, understandable, and relatable concepts where you can learn your design style, and you are not using a quiz. Friend, come and join me for that free 2-day live workshop where not only I teach you how to understand your design style, I teach you 2 other steps. You can register for that by going to bit.ly/spring 2026 workshop, or head to my website at figandfarmathome.com, and right at the top of the page, there's a link to register. Now, you can absolutely register. I will send you the replays, or you can come live. I love answering your specific questions. I love pouring into you, those who come and hang out with me. And I'm a gift giver by nature, and I have some great gifts that I'm going to give away to those who attend live. What are they? I'm going to spill the beans. I'm giving away room edits. I'm giving away free coaching. I'm giving away gift cards to places that you like to shop, like Target and Home Goods. All right, friend, come and register for that workshop at bit.ly/spring 2026 workshop. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted, and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style, where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Have you ever gone to the grocery store on a really empty tummy and you've thought, you know what, I need to get something for dinner, and you do get something for dinner. But in the meantime, and until you check out, you gather all the other things. Maybe you gather some chocolates because, oh gosh, those look so good and you want them for after dinner. Maybe you gather a fun beverage. Maybe you gather some snacks that you're going to open on the way home. And spoiler alert, you probably ruin your appetite. Maybe you gather some flowers because, oh my gosh, those are fun. But ultimately, you walk out with a bigger bill than you walked in anticipating. You walked out with a bigger bill, a bigger shopping basket, and maybe even a full tummy because you snacked on the way home when you were supposed to be making dinner and waiting for that. Friend, this is not too uncommon of a situation, and we can relate to it because it happens way too many times. And it's very similar to what happens when we get the bug, we get the itch, and we want to do a little refresh in our space. We know we want to refresh the living room, we'll say, right? That's the same thing as we know we need to be eating dinner. So what do? We might look at our bank account and see how much extra money we have lying around, and then we head to Home Goods, where not only do we find a really cute throw blanket, we find a throw pillow, we find a couple candles, we find maybe even a couple picture frames, but there's no real designated plan or action step for those items. And so we bring them home. Our baskets are full, our wallets are empty, and now we bring them home and we think, what was I going to do with these? My tummy is kind of full, right? I don't know what to do next. I don't know that it really makes sense. I got the things, I put it on the couch, I put it on the bookshelf, I put it on the counter, wherever it is, and now you're second guessing all life's decisions because they're not quite what you had envisioned. They weren't quite what you had in mind when you stepped into Home Goods in the first place. This is a scenario I see happen a lot. And when that price point of the thing that you put in your cart is really expensive, when you purchase it without any real intentionality or much thought that aligns with the overall plan and the overall goal, what can happen is that we misspend our money. We end up with a product in our home, maybe something that was really expensive that we knew we needed, but there was no alignment in order to get the right choice or make the right choice. And so now we're stuck with this really expensive, oversized bully that is now dictating and commanding every decision we make thereafter. Why? Because we can't possibly justify returning it. Maybe we can't return it because it's so big. Maybe we can't return it because it's so much of a hassle because we ordered it online. Maybe we can't return it because, how are we going to get that couch or that dining room table back into that U-Haul that we had to rent in order to bring it home in the first place? Or the delivery service that brought it to our home? We're stuck. And then we're stuck for another 5, 7, 10, however many years, knowing that we made a poor choice. Friend, I want to help you avoid all of that. So in today's conversation, I am giving you the 10 things I think about when I think about making a plan. Yes, some of them are specific and tactical. If I work with you one-on-one in our decorating SOS calls, you get that plan. We hit all of these in a roundabout way, and you walk away with a plan that you know exactly what to focus on next. You have a step-by-step plan for the direction you want to go. And if you don't know where you want to go, that's where we start our plan. Friend, here are the 10 things that are most essential and high level when we're thinking about making a plan. Now, if you're thinking about making a plan and wanting to do any sort of refresh, number one, the first thing is, you named it, you need to know your aesthetic. And if you don't, that is when you will end up with that cart full of things or that really expensive thing that now becomes a dictator for all of the other decisions you are going to be making in your home. This is where intention matters, and a little bit of time, a little bit of patience is going to serve you so much better in the long run. This is where you get in tune with the things that you like and the things that you don't like, the things that are popping up over and over and over again on Pinterest, the pictures you look at, the HGTV shows you watch, the magazines you browse, the friends' homes you go to. This is where you start labeling and identifying and knowing what it is you like to the finest, teeny tiniest little detail. And if you are not able to label those, if I were to say, hey, what are some design elements that make up your design style, and you can't give me 10, you don't know it. So here's what I want you to do. That is one of the things I am teaching inside of the 3 steps to creating a home you can't stop gushing about. I'm teaching you how to find your 10, 12, 15 design elements that define your design style. Not my design style, your design style. So come on and join us. You can get the link again in the show notes. And once you have that literally is the base, the foundation. Like you picture a triangle, that literally is the base. You cannot build anything else upon it if you skip that step. So that is most important, most critical before we move on to the second thing that should be in our plan, which is taking inventory. How has your life changed since you were using the room last? What do you need the room to do for you? What jobs is it doing for you? What do you want it to do for you? Are you in a new season of life? So many of the women I work with are empty nesters. They are, or soon to be empty nesters. They don't have teeny tiny little kids anymore at home, and that is fine. But when you do, and you still have your room designed for that space, there's a disconnect there. So do you know what you need that room to do for you? Taking inventory is essential. This is where you might take inventory too of what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you like in the room, what you don't like in the room, what you want to stay, what you want to go, all of that. You are assessing all of it. And even if you don't know yet what your budget is, which by the way is like item number 6 on my list, I want you to be thinking about the dream, the goal. If you want a new couch, but you can't afford a new couch, put it on the list. You're taking inventory of that. That can be worked into your overall overarching step-by-step plan in a very strategic way. It's just not going to happen yet. All right, number 3. What are the goals you have for the room? How do you want it to function for you? How do you want to use it? What do you want it to look like? Do you have any inspiration photos? Which is number 4. If you don't have inspiration photos, that is part of your plan. You need to get some. Part of those inspiration photos are going to inform what your design style is and what it's not. So having some of those handy is really critical in your plan. But copy and pasting is not the goal. It is not the directionality we're going to take. We are not going to copy and paste a room from Pinterest. We're not going to copy and paste a room from the model home down the street. We're not going to copy and paste a picture from Instagram. We're not going to copy and paste because we want this style to be true to you. And if we go about copy and pasting, then we miss the whole point. It is someone else's story in your home. And it's very much like, I don't know if you had a big sister growing up, but I did. I had 2. And if I wanted to pretend to be big, I would put on my sister's heels, I would put on our clothes and look completely silly because they were 3 sizes too big for me. It's like that. We want it to look good. We want it to fit good. We want it to feel good, and it can't if it is not you. So going back to number 1, understanding your style, understanding your own aesthetic will really help you with understanding how you can bring your inspiration to life without copying and pasting in your own home. All right, number 5. We talk a lot about creating a plan, and it's a very generic term. So what is in it? Here's number 5. Understanding expectations versus reality. What do I mean by that? I mean, what are the things that you are hoping to do? What are the things that you're expecting to do? And what are the things that can really be accomplished with your skill set, with the overall budget? And I don't want you to camp here for a second because that there is wiggle room with your budget. Now, hang on with me for a minute because I know that money can be finite, but I want to explain that just a little bit in a minute. Who do you have in your circle that can help you realize those expectations? Can you realize those expectations? If you know you want to restore grandma's hutch and you want to bring it into your dining room to make that dining room shine, do you have the ability to do that? Do you need to hire it out? Do you need to ask your friend? What is it? What are those expectations, and do they align with reality? Even reality of time, reality of capability, reality of finances, which we will get to. Here's where budget gets really tricky, and this is number 6. Yes, we usually have an idea of what we have to spend, but more likely it is what we don't have to spend. It is more likely, I don't have the extra money to buy the pillow, so how can I afford the couch? But here's what I want you to think about when you're creating an overall plan. Not only are you determining just these ideas of what you want to do, how the room's performing for you, what your design style is, not only that, you're taking a really hard look at what your budget is, and you're creating a physical, literal roadmap that will help you get to the end goal. And sometimes that roadmap means stopping along the way at pit stops, stopping along the way to refuel, to recharge, basically to save up a little bit. That is a reality. I've told you several times that I've only had one client in the history of clients that could spend all of the money in one weekend in order to do the home that they were designing. One. Everyone else has had to use this roadmap. They've had to have pit stops. But once they have that roadmap in place and they understand that roadmap and how to read that roadmap, knowing which thing to do first in the order of importance, which thing's going to bring the biggest impact to their home. Is it painting, or is it buying the couch first? Is it hanging new lighting, or is it hanging the curtains? Once you understand where those go on the roadmap, you can assign the budget, no matter how big, no matter how small, to that roadmap, and then you stop for the pit stop along the way. When you work with me one-on-one, I literally give you that roadmap. I give you that roadmap so that you are able to know what is most important in your home. What is the thing that needs to take your attention first? What can wait for a while? One of my very favorite things to do is tell a client, put your credit card away. You don't need to buy a thing. You have a lot of pieces here that we can work with. Let's just have a different perspective. Let's just move things around a little bit. Let's look at your goals. Let's assess the room. Let's make sure that it's functioning for you. And then we can start taking things out. We can start adding things in. We can start rearranging. And then we can start playing with the budget you do have, allotting it to the things that are going to make the biggest impact in your home when you want them to. This is the step that most often surprises clients, quite honestly. The part that says, don't do that. You don't need a new rug. This is what you need instead. When they thought, I need a new rug. Friends, perception is one thing, but reality is another. And having a guide is entirely different. It helps you see things from a brand new perspective that you just cannot see because you are so up close and personal to it. All right, and that was number 6 and number 7. Number 8 is time. Being really intentional and realistic about the time that it's going to take in order to realize this plan and bring this plan from idea to execution. What time do you have in order to really dedicate and learn what your design style is so that you stop second guessing, or stop guessing, first guessing. So you stop first guessing, which so many of us do. Are you needing to barter with a neighbor, trade childcare for their ability to refinish furniture? What time do you have allotted for that? And how is that a reality to your day-to-day? Do you have a time frame? Do you need the refresh to be done before you host Easter or before you host Thanksgiving? How realistic is that in alignment with the assessment you made of your room and all of the things and the goals that you have for it, including the budget? How many pit stops are you going to need to make along the way in order to make this plan a reality, a living reality? So understanding your time is really essential here. And saying, I don't have it, well, you know what? None of us have more than 24 hours a day. We all allot time to the things that matter most. And if creating a home that you delight in matters, then you will make the time. That's how that works, right? You will make the time when you're sitting in the car waiting for your kiddo to be done with lacrosse practice. Instead of scrolling Instagram, you might be working on understanding your aesthetic. You might be. Instead of binge watching the latest It show on TV, I don't even know what those are. We're such nerds. We like PBS and BBC shows. So I don't even know what the It shows are. But if you are binge watching those, do you have time to post some of the items that have been sitting in your garage on Facebook Marketplace so that you can generate a teeny tiny bit of that cash so that you can fund that first step along your roadmap? All right, you get the idea. All right, the ninth thing is execution. The ninth thing in your plan is execution, and not just when am I going to order the couch or when am I going to order the curtains, but when am I going to put them up? And that goes in alignment with the time as well as the assessment of expectations versus reality. Who's going to hang up those curtains? Is it you? Is it a neighbor? Is it your hubby? Is it your dad? Who is it? And is there needing to be a skill involved, something you need to learn how to do in order to get that done, in order to execute? Is it painting? Is it something that requires a lot of time? Because execution is fun, but they are not the big reveals that we see on TV. They're not. They have a whole team of people behind them. And how fun would that be to come home one day and have it all revealed, wheeling back that ginormous picture that says, "Are you ready to see your home? Here you go." But execution matters just as much as that beginning step. Execution and the expectation that that execution is going to look like a grand reveal might not be reality. Knowing that it's going to be a slow rollout, because remember the budget and the pit stops along the way? It might be a slow rollout. So really understanding and knowing what are the biggest impact things you can do first in order to not only make a dent on your list, but really to make the dramatic impact. What are those things? And if you don't know, this is where a guide comes in handy. This is where getting some help comes in handy so that they can tell you, because perspective is everything. All right, and number 10, after you have executed, it is time to celebrate. It is time to step back, look at the before picture, compare it to the after, take a sigh of relief, take a deep breath, and think, I did that. I did that. Even if you had a guide, you did that. You were the one who executed with the help a little bit along the way so that you knew exactly where to focus your attention, where to spend your energy, where to even spend your money, how to prioritize what comes first or second. But friend, it is now time to celebrate. It's time to throw open your doors to the book club that you've been wanting to host for a while. It's time to throw open the doors to the family reunion that you've been putting off hosting. It's time to throw open the doors to that birthday party that your kiddos have wanted to throw at their home, but you've been too embarrassed or too reticent to say yes to. Friend, it is possible. And some of the best compliments I've ever gotten are these. I did that. Not me, by the way. This is them saying that. I did that. Taking ownership of the things that they did because they were just a little bit empowered. And I want you to be empowered. I want you to be empowered. Design is teachable, friends, and we don't have to stay stuck in a really boring textbook. Trust me, that is snooze fest waiting to happen. But it is, with a little bit of effort, you can learn the number one most important thing, which is understanding your design style. Forget the quizzes. They are no help. They will not tell you what it means to have a California casual home. You still need to know what that means. If you can't define it, you don't know your design style. If you cannot define what California casual is, you don't know. And if you can't define it with 10 little design elements, you do not know it. So come to my workshop, come and hang out with me for 2 days live, where I can't wait to teach you how you can know your design style and 2 other steps to creating that home that you can't stop gushing about. I'm giving away, of course, those goodies to those who come and hang out with me live, and I can't wait. It is one of my favorite things the entire year, to hang out with a group of women just like you who are wanting to finally invest a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, a little bit of attention to their homes, because those are homes that they can't wait to delight in. All right, again, you can register for that workshop by going to bit.ly/Spring 2026 workshop. And I will see you there on March 11th, March 12th. Mark it on your calendar. I'll see you there. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, If you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.